How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Esports Talk, and today's kind of a weird one because thanks to some digging by Overwatch player Prototype, there is evidence that Blizzard keeps some of your data, things like voice chat and text chat, and apparently you quitting, or apparently what the game perceives as you quitting, and uses that data to match you against other players. And it sounds kind of wild, but Prototype did find a patent regarding it, and Jeff Kaplan even responded to it, but more on that in a bit. He says, "Well, I've finally gone off the deep end. I just discovered a matchmaking patent from Activision Blizzard that states that they retain small pieces of data, i.e. voice chat usage, and rage quitting in conjunction with actual performance to put you in games with even chances." And then he follows up by saying that the matchmaking patent puts worse players on the same team as players that are higher skill level than them to kind of match out games and make games a bit more even and make teams more fair. And he says that if this is true, then this kind of proves the existence of a main account curse, because your main account has more data and more information to draw and to kind of categorize you off of. Meanwhile, if you have a newer account and you're just a newer player, you have less information and less data for this system to kind of, filter you in through. Then he says that if the lobbies are really close skill-wise, the game is more likely to match you with better players because the game thinks that you need those players in order to maintain a 50% win rate, whereas if you're the one who's doing really good and you're being a really good player, the game is more likely to match you with worse players because the game feels as though those worse players need you in order to maintain their 50% win rate, which I think is the most interesting part about all this because, well, I feel like you've all had it several times before where you feel like you're the only competent one on your team in a video game, and I feel like it just kind of makes sense in that regard. However, I feel like I've seen this in other games as well, not only Overwatch. So I wonder if there's any other games that have actually adopted a similar system to this before. And Jeff Kaplan himself had a response for the rumor where he says that Overwatch doesn't use analysis of voice or text chat for matchmaking. However, he doesn't deny that chat is recorded. He just says that it isn't used for matchmaking, but it primarily uses your MMR, of course, which is also, of course, most affected by your wins and losses as well as certain conditions like being a new player. And then it's based off of your region and your ping. So it's going to try to match you with close enough players so that way the connection isn't awful. But as Prototype points out, Jeff denied the chat influence on matchmaking, but he didn't deny Proto's claims about loss and win streaks or being matched with teammates who are worse than you and whatnot, which leads him to believe that these are most likely true and implemented in the game to some degree. So from what we can gather here, this version of matchmaking that Overwatch uses, or at least what it seems to be using based off this patent, because again, we're not entirely sure if this matchmaking system is actually implemented into Overwatch, but it almost seems to use more of a team MMR kind of system where you've got your players on each team with their own individual MMRs, but this game sort of adds those together and then divides, and that's how you get what I'm calling this team MMR. And then you get that median number out of each player's individual MMR, and basically it pits your team against another team that has a similar team MMR, or at least that's how I imagine that this system would work based off of this patent. So I will say though, in other games like Valorant, in terms of win streaks and loss streaks and stuff like that, I'm like 90% sure that has an effect on your MMR because I just feel like I've witnessed it plenty. So if you guys can attest to that, let me know. For the next part of this video, we've got Seagull discussing the current state of Overwatch, something that we've talked about here on this channel plenty, because someone popped the question during a stream of his. And after so many changes and different metas and controversial decisions by Blizzard, Seagull actually says that this game is in the best state that it's been in for years.
Is Overwatch in a good state now, in your opinion? In my opinion, from playing casual ladder, do keep in mind this is not pro play. I don't actually care about pro play. I'm sure they're playing like I know once you get higher MMR than where I'm at, I know once you start getting to like top 100-ish MMR, the meta is shaping into a lot of Reaper Sombra rushdown, where like they just rush at you and that's it. But I would say right now it's probably in the best it's been for many years in terms of meta. Skill, thank you for the gifted sub. Because honestly, from going from like Goat's meta into Double Shield, and like before that was a hard Orisa Hog meta, this is the most diverse meta we've seen in years, I think. But we'll see.
And of course, Seagull mentions the GOATS meta, which I'm sure we all remember from over a year ago because it was quite prevalent in just the game and in the Overwatch League. And then he also talks about the Shields meta, which, I'm sure a lot of us also remember because it wasn't too long ago and it kind of sucked. And at both times, going through each meta, everyone was saying that those metas would be the death of this game and it was slowly killing Overwatch and all that crap. But then you've got Seagull now saying that it is in the most diverse meta it has been in years. And if you guys have been playing Overwatch, I'm curious, do you agree with Seagull in that Overwatch Overwatch is currently in the best state that it's been in years. And going back to the first topic, do you guys think you could possibly vouch for whether or not these matchmaking systems are currently in Overwatch, or if they are just a patent and that's it? Oh God, did my voice just crack? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know, drop some comments down below, and I will see you all very soon in the next one. So take it easy, be safe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.